What's something that you did once that you'll never try again? I was in the army once. Use shampoo as a lube for masturbating. I chemically burnt my urethra. I went to Snake Pit at the Indy 500. It was the most fun I never want to have again. Bunked a train for a whole day from home to somewhere north of the UK and back. Unintentionally. Because I believed a massive lie and almost got arrested. And never told my parents. Hiking alone in the woods by my house, which people said a demon lives, bruh. It wasn't a demon, no, it was a hobo with a BB gun and I got shot. It hurt like hell. Edit. Guys, why do people like this story so much? Go home. Inhale alcohol. It's a quick and dangerous way to get drunk. Don't recommend it. I used alcohol to clean my ass. Stayed with a girl for 3 years because I was codependent and lost all my friendships to the relationship. Totally got in my head and convinced myself I needed her even though she constantly gaslighted me. Made fun of my interests and hardly showed any affection. Never again. God, it feels great to be free and have friends and to know that I'll be okay without a romantic partner. When I was 8 I sewed a hole in one of my clothes. After I was done I did stick the needle into my mattress. Yes, I know, alpha dummy. Later on I kneeled into the needle which then got stuck under my kneecap. I've got a fancy trip to the hospital. I never did something like this again. Opium. Back in high school was smoking weed at my buddy's house when he busted out a pipe full of opium. Got insanely couch locked. Felt a glorious body and mind high. Vowed to never do an opiate recreationally again. As it felt yaai too good. Most of those friends ended up on heroin, so I really dodged a bullet there. Anal sex. Asked my wife to try it. She said sure. As long as she gets to try it on me too. I do not like getting anal sex. Upside is that she likes it. Jerked off with toothpaste once. Not a good idea. Drank 30 beers in one evening. And some meat and whiskey on top of that. Woke up the next morning. Feeling completely normal. No hangover as usually. Nice. But in the evening, I got an extreme anxiety attack. Like, I was afraid of entering my bathroom without light. Because something's surely waiting here. I was afraid of looking behind. Because someone is surely standing there with a knife. Ready to stab me. I was afraid of looking at the TV. Because there is surely Samara Morgan coming out of it. When I heard some noise outside. It was surely the landlord about to tell me that I got evicted for being drunk. That. And I was feeling like I couldn't breathe. Guess that's hangover for me. Suicide attempt. Wouldn't do it again. Not recommended 0/10. Lose my virginity. Without protection. To a married woman. With a husband in prison. I went parasailing. The guy could tell I was scared and thought it was a great idea to lunge toward me as I'm being lifted into the air. And scream, "Wait, she's not strapped in." I was in fact strapped in, and boy did I straight up not have a good time. My mom was on the boat and ripped the guy a new one cause I got the anxieties. Salvia. TBF. I did it twice. After the second time I threw it in the garbage where it belonged. Funny thing is, I bought it legally, lol. Eating a burger with 800 grams of beef patties plus bacon and other toppings. Edit. Finally fixed Buster. In my early 20s I had sex with a woman nearly twice my age. Now I'm in my early 60s, I almost certainly won't be doing that again. Edit. Thanks for the awards. Especially the wholesome one, which I probably don't deserve for this comment. Fully trust someone. Gauged my own ears. I never went that big. But living with the soreness and the smell is something I very much don't want to do again. Cocaine. Most people seem to like it. But I'm anxious anyway. So it made me too wired. Cocaine is also dangerous because some people lack an enzyme necessary to metabolize it. And they can end up with heart attacks, seizures, etc. They don't know until they try it. Talking to a Scientologist. My brother and I walked across an expansive railroad trestle with the wide river flowing vigorously below. If a train had come, we would have risked having to jump into the rapidly moving river. Never again. Shaving the hair in my ass crack. Probably go to a forest with a guy almost twice my age, probably the worst thing ever. I was 12 at the time and he did some bad things, got him arrested. Went to jail for 8 years. Heart surgery. The morphine afterwards was wonderful. But I am 100% sure I am addicted to opiates now. I'll never pursue ingestion or purchase of them, as those outcomes are never good. Eating 70 grams of magic truffles at once. Got minor surgery with only local anesthetic. Still hurt like hell at certain moments, even more when he went through scar tissue. And for some reason numbing doesn't work well on me, so I needed an extra shot, and even when it didn't I could feel the tearing and it was just so unsettling. So uncomfortable. My body was being shaken around because some of it was liposuction and it is violent. -7/10 would not recommend. If I ever need another scar revision, which is what that was, it hasn't fully healed yet, or any other kind of surgery. I'm going full general anesthesia. I'll even wait and save if it costs too much. I ain't going through that again. Crack. Tried it once for 12 years. Wouldn't recommend. Ran a half marathon. I suffered through the training and got told when you hit the finish line, it will all be worth it. When I crossed the finish line I felt like I was dying and I hated every second of the race. My mentor finally admitted maybe running isn't for you. 7th grade. Watching Scott's Tots episode of The Office. r/can't watch Scott's Toes. I ate food from White Castle and was sick for a month. Never again. Some people live on that shit and I just don't get it. Marriage. I'm still married but I wouldn't do it again. When I was inexperienced with hot peppers, I thought the whole don't touch your junk after handling them was more of a myth, and if it was real then I had to like directly touch the tip of my dick. Right? Wrong. Well, one time I was cutting habaneros and then went to take a piss. After that, I then proceeded to submerge my junk in a cup of milk for 40 minutes because of the searing pain. It is not a pain like eating a hot pepper at all. You salivate and your mouth cleans itself out. But a penis cannot do that. You do not want to touch any part of your bits without washing your hands. I will never not thoroughly wash my hands after anything spicy again. Half a bottle of XXX hot sauce on my burrito during work. My underwear ended up in a garbage can out front of a closed down Coach outlet. Still do it every few days after work but never during ever again. I stayed overnight at a store I was working at because the lock on their door broke. This wasn't my store, and the manager said quite a few times she'd be there soon. I ended staying from the beginning of the shift, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, to 6 o'clock in the morning. The manager lived 20 minutes from the store, but it took her 8 hours to get there. After this, I planned on transferring to that store because it's a lot closer than my current one. The following Friday, my transfer was cancelled because, and I'm serious, not enough determination to work here / not manager material. I have been a manager since early February of last year. Also, I had the determination to stay all night for a store that wasn't mine. So, when they asked for their store keys back, I told the manager to go fuck herself. That report was 100% a lie. And she knows it. She called my current manager to tell her what happened. And my manager took my side entirely. Now, when that store's manager needs help, my manager offers to send me. She refuses every time. I won't stay with the company for much longer because of hours being cut / driving distance. But I'll remember how badly they treated me for a while. She can still go fuck herself. I accepted a job in a small, family-owned and run meat market and deli. They did not believe in wasting food. And that included meat that had fallen on the ground and pork hocks with mold growing in them. Ugh. We had a special instrument, they called it a key, to scrape the mold out before packing them up for customers. It was such a filthy place. I wound up with salmonella from cross-contamination on cheese from raw meats, same knife used for all, and they blamed me for getting it. Further, they wanted me to continue working with active salmonella, which is against health regulations. I quit, but I was a salmonella carrier for 2 years. Public health eventually shut them down. Carnival rides. Walking in front of a car. Nearly 10 years later and I still don't walk right. Trying to get my scuba certificate. I went on a night dive in Florida. Pitch black and too much pressure. Never again. It felt like being buried alive. I stuck my dick in crazy once. Drank barium chalk drink for some diagnostic tests and had white shit for a week. Never again. Really liked the tingly sensation my tea tree shampoo gave my scalp. Decided to scrub my body with it. My skin was on fire and then started itching like crazy. I was as red as a lobster for a couple hours. Eat at Denny's. Meth. Acid back-to-back days. What a waste of good LSD. I don't think I'll go back to college. Wasn't for me. Dabs. That high is so quick and intense I don't see how anyone could find it enjoyable. Jerking off in the shower almost died. Story time on how I almost died. So I was having one of those moments where you just can't nut, so I'm jerking in the shower for like 30 minutes. Nothing, I'm like shit, gotta go faster, and then I feel it, you know that moment you can just feel the moment you spider senses active. I had that moment and knew my time was up, so I went super sane like any normal man would. Remember, I'm still in the shower, 30 minutes of straight jerking, and then I nutted. It was so powerful I had a mini seizure, and cause I'm still in the shower I slipped and almost smacked my head in the edge of the toilet. So that's how I almost died. Shark cage diving. Ended up projectile vomiting on a great white. Twice. Preparation H is a hemorrhoid cream that claims to be cooling and soothing. For hemorrhoids that may be the case. However, if your asshole is just raw from too many beers and hot wings, the cream is nothing short of molten steel being applied to your poop chute. Thanks for watching.